Hi, my loves. Welcome to this week's podcast. You might hear my baby again this week because he is our guest. He's our permanent guest. Hopefully, soon I have time to fit it in the calendar and to actually invite guests on the podcast and allow you guys to discover some amazing people that I have and I'm so lucky that I have in my life. And I will for sure bring them on and let them speak their magic, their wisdom, and their knowledge to you guys. Today is going to be a quick one and very important, but quick, around 20 minutes. That's all I got. The last ones were super long. One was almost an hour, so I didn't even know I can talk for that long. Of course I did. So today I wanted us to talk about the power of your thoughts. Your thoughts are absolutely so powerful. And I want you to understand them. I want you to understand how your brain works, how they process, how your brain, my brain, how they process our thoughts. So how the brain processes thoughts. I want you to know how you are influenced and how the same thought, we can both have the same thought. It's a word I'm saying, so this will be a funny podcast. But we can both have the exact same thought and really perceive it completely differently, absolutely completely differently, and it will generate different emotions for me than for you, and that is key. We really need to understand that our thoughts create our emotions, and our emotions are a great indicator of what the hell is going on inside of our head, because sometimes that hamster is going so intensely and there's multiple hamsters, you don't even know what they're saying, and you can't even put a finger on what your thoughts are because you have never tried it and you never listened and you never really understood that you're not your thoughts. Okay, so that is number one. You are not your thoughts. You are not your thoughts. Your thoughts are there, they're going, they're programs, they're other people's programmings, they're society's programmings. Deep down, you know that you can observe your thoughts. You know that you can get outside of it and look at it like you're looking at a river. So if you can do that, are you your thoughts? No, you are the observer. You are able to observe what is going on. So if sometimes you have bad thoughts and it gives you bad feelings and it's making you spiral, remind yourself, I am not my thoughts. Make that your affirmation. Make it your affirmation every single day so that you can reassure yourself and help yourself get a little bit of distance, just a little bit of distance from your thoughts, and so that you can choose and start choosing to overcome those thoughts and start choosing and start changing them. And that is the goal of all of this, is to understand how your thoughts influence your life, how they allow you to, or they enable you to attract what it is that you are having in your life and what is happening in your life, and how you need to use that to your advantage. Of course, we talk about this a lot on social media platforms recently about the law of attraction. There's The Secret that was really popular when it came out. This law is just really interesting, and it's very present more and more now, but we need to talk about it and we need to understand it. Let's also talk about a little bit let's talk about thoughts. Let's take that point number 2, take a moment to talk about thoughts and what are they, where are they coming from, how many are we having in a day. So I'm pretty certain, I'm going to give you an exact number. I'm setting my computer, I'll give you exact numbers because they studied this. How many thoughts do we have a day? We have around 70,000 thoughts. Your brain processes 70,000 thoughts. That is insane. Can you imagine that? So your brain is a 3-pound universe that processes 70,000 thoughts each day using 100 billion neurons that connect at more than 500 trillion points through synapses that travel 300 miles an hour. That is so interesting. And I love the way they described this in this. It's called healthybrains.org, Brain Facts. I love they describe it like traveling, because this is one of the most important things to understand, is that your thoughts travel. Oh my God, I gave myself a tongue twister episode. Your thoughts travel. Your thoughts travel from points, and the more they do the same travel, so the more you have the same thought and it travels from point A to B, A to B, A to B, the more you're anchoring that thought. So if it's a fearful thought, if it's a good thought, whatever type of thought it is, and whatever emotions it's generating, if it's traveling the same route every single day and you're having it so many times over and over again, you're creating kind of like a deep trench, and the trench gets deepened every time you have that thought. And where I'm getting at with that is that every time you have that thought and it deepens and it strengthens that trench and that kind of direction or where it's going, every time you do that, it deepens that trench, and it makes your thought absolutely powerful. It gives it so much power. And when we are reprogramming the subconscious mind, so we are reprogramming our thoughts to generate new feelings, we are essentially creating new lines in the sand, new lines that over time are going to become a trench. Over time, you're going to become a whole deep trench, so powerful with the thought that you want. So this is what's empowering, is that you get to choose your thoughts. And you first need to, that's what we're talking about right now, is your thoughts. What are they? Where are they coming from? We first need to understand what's going on. What is a thought? So a thought is coming into your brain. It's literally you literally have 70,000 every single day, which is insane. Let's look at the definition, which I love doing this. The definition of thought is an idea or an opinion produced by thinking or occurring. So something that's occurring suddenly in the mind. So something is popping in your mind, a thought, the action or process of thinking. A thought pops in your mind, okay, and it generates a feeling, and your feeling tell you what's happening in your mind. A thought is also being filtered. So when a thought pops in your mind, like I said earlier, you will have a completely different perception of a thought than your friend. But today I'm in your face with your thoughts because this is so empowering. This is so valuable as information. So when your thoughts enter your brain, they are filtered. When you're getting a thought and I'm getting a thought, I'm receiving it completely different. It's generating completely different emotions in my body versus your body because we all have filters. We have filters, we have biases. We have our own history, whatever it is that happened in our life, whatever it is that happened even in our mom's lives and that got passed down in our parents' lives and the whole ancestry line, whatever it may be, wherever we are in our country, there are filters that we apply to a thought where we make it mean something because I'm getting a thought and I'm thinking this of it, and you're getting a thought and you're thinking this of it. Every thought that we're getting, even if it's the same like words, let's say like I'm thinking, I am blue today, I'm sad, and you're thinking I'm sad too. It's gonna mean something completely different to you that it means to me based on my filters, based on my biases, based basically on the filters that I'm applying to it. It's gonna completely shift what it is that I'm receiving as a thought and what emotion it is generating. And I'm giving you that because I need you to understand that you have filters. So you don't not only have thoughts that are coming in, and there's so many, and you're not even like conscious of all of them, and your brain is choosing which ones to focus on based on your filters. It's also choosing how it's filtering and how it's reacting or how it's perceiving any given thought because it has its own biases, its own agenda, its own all these things. Your brain is like a big computer. Everything's going on, it's all programmed, and it's like trying to be effective. You need to come in there and you need to program it the way you want it. You need to take advantage of your brain and be on top of it. Our brains are old. I love Tony Robbins. He also always says this. Your brain is so old. It is so old, and it's like programs running in there to help you survive, my love. And today we are not running away from tigers. We are cozy in our homes, but we're still in fight or flight because we're absolutely scared of what it is that's going on because our thought makes us think that we're in danger because the brain is old and is trying to make you survive. All right. As I was saying, we are talking about what it is that thoughts are, what are they doing, how are they processed, what's going on in your brain, okay? Your thoughts are ideas, they're notions, they're beliefs, they're concepts. These are all words that are synonyms of thought, okay? So your thoughts are definitely a big part of how your day is playing out, what you're attracting into your life, how you're feeling every single day. If you're feeling bad every single day, you clearly have bad thoughts. You can have two people, so let me give you this example. You can have two people who are going through a situation where maybe they're losing a loved one, okay? They're going through a situation where they're losing a loved one or they lost a loved one, they're grieving, and they are completely reacting differently. Their feelings and their way of overcoming it is completely different. Why do you think? Because one is better than the other? Hell no. One has a different thought process, is assimilating and perceiving their thoughts differently in regards to the same situation than another person, which means that person A can be going through it with renewed optimism, with a zest for life, and another person can be going through deep depression and deep sadness and completely feeling helpless, okay? And they're going through the same situation and they're having different emotional reactions because their thought process is different. I'm repeating it to really make it really anchor it and really drive it home because it is so important that you understand this, and so that you can start acting on your thoughts and you can start changing your thoughts so that you have a beautiful life and you have beautiful days where your emotions are good and you feel happy and you feel content and you feel fulfilled. This is something that you can definitely achieve. And in regards to point number 3, which I want to talk about, is how can you change your thoughts? How can you change your life with your thoughts? And I was someone who struggled and still struggle with anxiety. It's been very, very present for me this week. This is why I'm talking about this week, because I'm comforting myself and reminding myself that I have power over my thoughts. And so if I have power over my thoughts and what I'm thinking, I can act upon it with certain tools and modalities that I'm going to share, that I use and that I love and that you can look into. But you can also find your own modalities and your own ways of acting upon your thoughts. And that gives me power, and it will give you power because you will know that you have a power over your thoughts and that you can change the emotions and you can release yourself and break free from anxiety, which is a horrible feeling. Like, I know it. I'm there this week. I was there very deeply with a diagnosis of PTSD after a big car crash. I fully understand, and I know how it seems like we have no power. It seems like we're completely helpless. These thoughts are crazy. They're there, they're present, they're intensifying, they are multiplying. When you have one bad one, it starts spiraling and going into like the most horrendous thoughts that you don't want to have. They're intrusive. Your thoughts can be completely intrusive. And this is a point from number 2, like what are thoughts and what are intrusive thoughts, like that I want to touch on quickly that I did not say, that I want to tell you guys, is that I have a girlfriend once who confided in me that her her sister-in-law was consulting because she was having intrusive thoughts in regards to her newborn baby. And this person told me that the therapist explained to this new mom that when you have this, your brain is like having the worst case scenario thoughts, like that are horrendous thoughts and scary and weird thoughts. But it's there because your brain is trying to make sure that you're keeping your baby alive. Like it's trying to keep you alive. So you're having really crazy thoughts in order to really be aware of all the dangers that are possible around you and your baby, so that you are conscious of it, so that it doesn't happen, so that you can kind of block it. But those thoughts, if we don't know that we are not our thoughts, we're going to start thinking that we're crazy and we're having these thoughts that are completely horrible and insane and scary, where in fact they're just thoughts that are popping up, where the brain is kind of in survival mode and it's trying to make you like survive with your offspring. And so you're having these intrusive thoughts, and that really helps to apply to any situation. When you have anxiety attacks, you are having intrusive thoughts that are there to catastrophize whatever situation you're in. So for me, I had big problems with fear of flying. So I had obviously intrusive, scary ass thoughts about the plane falling out of the sky and like all these things. I love my sound effects. Like, you guys don't even need like, I don't need it on my audio. I'm giving you them myself, okay? But intrusive thoughts were coming for me when I was on the plane, like horrible thoughts. And when you are scared of them, they're even more intense, I feel like. And so you're like trying not to have it, and it's popping up. But it's there because anxiety is showing up and it's trying to like save me. It's trying to make sure that I'm aware. This can happen. All these things can happen. These horrible situations can happen. Be aware. But you don't want to be following those paths, and you want to calm yourself and you want to come back to yourself with different modalities, different techniques, different reassurances, so that you don't keep having these thoughts and you don't essentially attract that reality to yourself. You do not want that. You want to be outside of those vibrations. You want to be vibrating higher. When we decide and we're intentional with the thoughts we have, we will be vibrating at higher levels. And this is where we're vibrating higher and we're attracting what it is we want. And this is where I'm talking about identity shifting in number 1. So number 1 episode of this podcast was identity shifting. And we're talking about your state of being and evolving into a higher state of being. Well, this is how you can do it, is by affecting and being conscious and choosing your thoughts, because your thoughts will essentially affect the way you're acting, your emotions, and how you're showing up. Okay, so how do you do that? Well, you can use techniques like hypnosis. That's what I did for myself this morning. I made myself a hypnosis track that I will make available for you guys on this channel, so that you guys can use it for yourself and that you can relieve yourself of anxiety. It's really specific to like what I'm dealing with, so, but it's still general terms of like anxiety and like general affirmations of like overcoming anxiety. So I'm sure it will help you guys. So definitely look at my YouTube channel if you would like that. I'll also put it on Spotify, so you guys can literally have that audio on Spotify, download it and have it when you need it. It's a hypnosis track, overcoming anxiety. And I will also publish some on abundance that I'm working on, and self-love. I think I have one on self-love that I wrote out, and I will definitely share more. Let me know which ones you guys want for hypnosis tracks. So hypnosis, how it works is that you are guided by me in my hypnosis tracks, but usually you're guided by a hypnotherapist, or you're guided by a hypnosis track by the person doing the hypnotherapy. You are guided by them with their voice to go into a relaxed state. When you are in a relaxed state, you are in theta brain waves. Let me just check. So theta brain waves and alpha, I think. When you are in a relaxed state, you fall into theta brain waves, alpha brain waves. And when you're conscious and you're like with me right now, and you're in your logical brain and you're active, you're in your gamma or in your beta. Gamma is like when you're concentrating, you're focusing, and beta brainwaves are during most activities in your day. Your alpha is where you're relaxed, you're sleepy. That is where I'm taking you with my hypnosis. And if you can get into a theta brainwave states, that's amazing. Someone's there. I gotta go unlock the door. Good morning, my loves. We ended the podcast yesterday. I didn't have much time, and then somebody arrived, so I had to stop filming. I'm committed. I'm showing up in my robe right before my morning coffee to finish the podcast that we were talking about. So we were at step number 3 about thoughts and how we can affect and change our thoughts. So I was telling you guys a bit about hypnosis. You guys can definitely look into hypnosis. You can also try EFT tapping, which is tapping on different meridian points on your body. So if you're seeing me, I'm tapping. And the karate chop is on the hand. You can look that up. It's really, really simple modalities that I'm actually trained in if you guys want me to do it with you. If not, you can definitely self-learn and go online and learn how to do it. And it will definitely help you to reprogram your mind. So EFT tapping and hypnosis are 2 that I love, especially hypnosis. Affirmations are definitely a form of reprogramming. Anything that you can do right before bed is amazing because you're in the perfect brainwave states that are really receptive to change. So there's also another modality that we have here in Quebec, Montreal, which is a company that I know that helps with people that have ADHD, who help people train their brain. So essentially they're helping you fire your neurons differently, and they're actually scanning your brain, and they're actually seeing the effects of doing their exercises over and over, or over a course of a whole like a system or number of sessions, and they're seeing your brain change, and they're seeing if they're actually having effect and helping you be more focused, or whatever it is that you're working on. If you're working on having less anxiety and you want to light up different parts of the brain. So this is amazing. This can really work, and this can definitely help you change your life. Remember, whenever you are having bad emotions, or you're feeling bad or down or whatever it is, that's a signal that your thoughts are going awry and that they're not nice thoughts, and that maybe you should be injecting beautiful, intentional thoughts that you actually want. So start writing down thoughts that you want. When you maybe don't have ideas when you sit down, maybe when you're out and about and you're thinking and you're having a beautiful thought, or you're feeling good, write it down, make a list of all of them, turn them into affirmations, turn them into events, turn them into like affirmative statements of something that happened already. That really helps as well. So if you're writing I ams, those help. But if you're also writing stuff like, yesterday I did this, or I'm so glad I accomplished this goal, or I'm so glad I felt this way, and that's helping you to project yourself. So instead of being in the present, which is already always fleeting, you can be projecting yourself and actually embodying that, like, this is you in the future. So this is obviously you right now as well, if you're already the person who has that little mind twister there. So I wanted to end this with these little tidbits of information, and hopefully that helps you guys, and that you can start really taking ownership and taking control of your thoughts. One last thing before I go is that I used to be, and even to this day, I used to be scared of, like, oh my God, am I going to attract my fearful thoughts, like my scary thoughts? And what I understood by, like, I was re-listening to The Secret and all these things, and what I understood is that you have to, like I was saying, your thoughts that you're going to manifest and attract is thoughts that are really anchored in your brain. So they're affirmative thoughts. They're thoughts that left an impression on your brain and that you really, really, truly believe. And those thoughts are the ones that, if they're negative, we need to be changing them. But if you think of like fearful thoughts that are fleeting, so like you're in a plane and you're like thinking, oh my God, it's going to crash. Deep down, you do not have an anchored affirmative statement thought in your head that's saying, I know it's going to crash. You don't, like, you're not that certain about it. That is also why sometimes you want something and you keep saying it, but you have a deeper thought that is anchored, that is like a limiting belief, such as I'm not good enough. That's a really, really big one for everybody. Or I need to work hard to achieve these goals. That's what I want to really change, because I feel like that's anchored in our society. Like, I have to work hard. No, you don't. You can be in aligned action. You can do things you love, and you can receive abundance through doing that, and you don't need to know how. And that is where I'm working on as well. But I know I have a deeper limiting belief, that is a belief that I need to work hard, and I need to help myself to stop believing that by reprogramming my brain with hypnosis, with affirmations, with even just logical speaking back to myself. Like, you can talk back to yourself. So hopefully this helps, and hopefully all these tidbits helped you guys for taking control of your thoughts and harnessing the power of your thoughts. Please let me know if you guys like this podcast. Sorry for the showing up in my robe, but I think it's funny and I wanted to finish it. I didn't want to give up on this episode. So professional, not whatever. It's a fun episode. You guys have me at mon plus simple appareil, we say in French. So we will see you guys next Thursday, and let me know what you guys want me to talk about. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.